is one topic that is quite contentious in the world, really. It has to be land. Yes, wars are fought over land, lives are lost over land, destruction. It's just quite interesting. But one place in Nigeria that has been notorious for land issues over the past few months is the nation's capital itself, Abuja. Of course, it's the nation's capital. Every meter, every square meter of land there is really prized, for obvious reasons, right? So once again, we want to visit the issues around, land laws, the operations of the agencies in charge, and the people as well. We have joining us a legal practitioner from our Abuja studio, Mr. Adekunle Otitoju. Good morning, Mr. Otitoju. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. You have written petitions upon petitions. Maybe you can walk us through first off. How many petitions have you written about land issues regarding whether or not there have been trespass and all of that in the nation's capital, Abuja? And what has been your experience?
Well, it's quite a lot, especially in the last few months. We have written quite a lot of petition, particularly with the intervention of police in private land disputes. Recently, the Inspector General of Police particularly warned all police officers about meddling with land issues, being a civil matter that has personal interest. But unfortunately, in the last couple of months, we have witnessed a system that has never happened in history, where police consistently move to a particular land, arrest people, even though there's judgment of court and order also restraining them from having access. But they have consistently gone to that land to harass people, arrest the people working there, arrest the security the security outfit guiding the land, claiming that it is one Enugu State governor that is giving them the authority to do that. We have had experience of about 8 formations of Nigerian police. And we have written consistently to the Inspector General of Police and the Commissioner of Police, all those who are in question. State CID, SWAT. Now it is Inspector General of Police monitoring, Fakorede, that is also going on plot 804, Uye, trying to meddle in civil matters. And these are things that are agitating the minds of Nigerians. The worst is when they now gather private individuals, people who of course they don't know the reason why they are holding arms, young vulnerable Nigerian. They put there about 30 thugs on the plot of land, supervised by police, to be on that land to cause chaos. And these are petitions we have written asking the Inspector General to intervene. But unfortunately, the Inspector General have not intervened up to now. In fact, as of yesterday, we had to call the officers in charge, one CSP Godwin from State CID, that if anything happens, if people die on that property, he will be held responsible. Because we saw the antecedents of these thugs holding machetes, axes, and all manner of weapons, intimidating people around there, forcing people on the land out of the place. So, in the face of a judgment of the court.
Right. So I want you to walk us through.
These are issues.
Right. Let's walk through the hierarchy in that sense. The documents, the approvals, whatever it is that you have.
Yes.
Where was it gotten? When was it gotten? Is the FCT authority aware of all of these? Because what you hear most times is that the people laying claim to the land also have some sort of approval in that sense. So walk us through the documentation process. Who has the original documentation, approval, and all of that?
Exactly. Sometime in 1993, there was an application by Enugu State Development Property who acquired that land. And then, as at 2002, sold it through a power of attorney, donated it to Synonyms Ventures Nigeria Limited. Having donated it in 2002, Synonyms went further and registered this power of attorney with AGIS, Abuja Geographical Information System. And now, registered it, he proceeded further to apply for CFO. And CFO was granted by the then minister, El-Rufai, in sometime September 2005. And since that time, the company had taken over the property, fenced that property with a gate. Now, sometime in 2014, some group of people who claimed to be Enugu State personnel was scouting out for land, now stumbled and then went to court against Synonyms. As at that time, when they got to court, they failed in court because court struck out their suit. Now, they went back, instead of them, for 9 years, there was no appeal in respect of this matter. And they went into Aegis and surreptitiously, have some, agreement with some unscrupulous officials in FCDA to now get an allocation on the property of Synonyms Ventures Nigeria Limited. So repetitiously, what they couldn't get by court, they went in and falsified the judgment. And in that, in getting that, they raised a memo that the minister should rely on the judgment of the court. And there's only one judgment. There's only one judgment. And the judgment is against the Enugu State. Yet, they decided to, falsify the decision and give themselves allocation. An allocation that was given in 1993. Today, they are relying on an allocation of 2023. How can you revoke someone's property that he has gotten since 2005, a CFO, 2005 CFO, and you are now giving a new CFO of 2024?
So when you say...
And then the Enugu State officials kept disturbing the, quiet enjoyment of this property, even when they have gone to court and failed.
So, Mr. Tutoji, when you say they falsified court judgments, they did this, who are you referring to? The solicitors to the Enugu State government claiming the land, or who specifically are you, or the FCT authority? Who are you referring to?
I'm referring to the Adamu who raised the memo. Adamu raised the memo. One Adamu raised a memo in FCDA through the connivance of the Enugu officials.
So,
and then decided to falsify the decision of the court.
A certain Adamu...
To now invalidate the right of Synonyms Ventures.
Okay, a certain Adamu in the FCDA authority. Now, the...
exactly.
Well, we'll have to consider that as alleged and hope that the FCDA authority will respond to this in subsequent conversations such that we can have all sides to it. Now, the plan or the mandate of the current FCT administration is to implement the Abuja master plan and correct deviations from this master plan, and this has come against other developers in Abuja, even for those in green spaces who have also sadly lost property and businesses due to the implementation of the master plan. As the FCD authority at any time, brought to your client's notice any such concern about the land in question? Either it has to do with something that has deviated the master plan, as the FCDA authority brought this to your concern in any way?
No, the FCDA have not done that. We have not breached any of those procedures or rules governing the master plan in the FCT. The land is quite in the place where it's supposed to be, and the developmental projects are being carried on in line with the procedures of FCT. So there's no concern about breaching the protocol of the FCT.
So let's talk about the next line of action, because we've seen documents, we've seen the court order insisting on obeying the court judgment. As my colleague Bukola said, we'll need to hear from all sides to be able to have that balanced conversation, but you are the one we have here. So if there is a judgment already and it's not being obeyed, quote and unquote, and then you proceeded to court, and then it looks like it's not going any further, are you filing for contempt, or what exactly are you going to do next?
Yes, we have written to the Inspector General of Police that based on the judgment we have, and then the order that was, gotten some few weeks ago, for him to respect the decision of the court as delivered since 2016, that if they fail to do that, we will not have any other option but to proceed on contempt of court.
So who is your
against any police officer, including the Inspector General of Police.
So who is the biggest encumbrance in this whole disagreement?
Well, we are on site, particularly now we're on site, and the Enugu State and Woodland company claiming to be in partnership with Enugu State, Woodland, claiming to be in partnership with Enugu State, are the ones who are coming to arrest our securities that are taking charge of the properties. In fact, they come with different police from different police formation. From FCDA, Force CID, to State CID, again to SWAT, and then to Inspector General Monitoring.
So
in fact, as at yesterday...
Yes, Mr. Atitoji, just a moment. We're winding down now. So what exactly, you have a judgment and an order of court,
yes, and
you will likely proceed to file for contempt if it's not respected. Yes, but I believe they can't just be coming with police. And what are they presenting as their own counter-argument? Do they have a document? Do they have a court order?
They are presenting a document of 2024 as against a document of 2005. You cannot revoke somebody's property and then give it to another person. The law is that you can only revoke for overriding public interest. What is the public interest that FCDA will be revoking Synonyms Ventures for? To give Enugu State government.
Well,
so that is our problem. Then the Enugu State government have already been sacked from the land based on the judgment of the court. Now, what they need to do is either to appeal and then allow Synonym Ventures to enjoy his property, instead of involving police, SWAT, and Fakorede calling for investigation.
Well, Mr. Otitoju,
are you investigating the judgment of the court?
Mr. Otitoju, you have raised major allegations.
Investigate the judgment of the court?
Indeed, you have raised major allegations, and these are issues that have dogged land administration, not just in the nation's capital, but in the country as well. And I really hope that we can take all of these experiences and build a system that works. This is not the kind of issues we should be having or discussing. There are bigger fish to fry, but we have to speak to these things. We're glad we're able to have you. We'll also get the FCT authority and those in question to also speak to this as well if they have a response. We've been speaking with Mr. Adekunle Otitoju, legal practitioner from our Abuja studio. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
We'll take a moment now, and when we return, there is a brand called Nigeria. There is an image that brand carries around. How do we build that image? How do we rebrand Nigeria, by extension, Nigerians? That's in a moment. Please stay with us.